This is what's happened in California. The rodents have priorities over the residents. Homeless have priorities over homeowners. Homeowners are now homeless. And this 18,000 people, dude, that don't have a house, and who knows how long it takes. So who's to blame, bro? Everybody that's been in politics for the last 20 years should be blamed. Adam Schiff, the Pelosi's, all these people that got rich, okay? Karen Bass, the mayor, she should be executed tomorrow. I don't mean literally executed, but she should be terminated.
Yeah. And now Trump's saying no IRS, maybe? That'd be crazy.
I think that's possible.
You think so?
I think he gets rid of the Fed, too.
Wow. Are you a fan of all the tariff stuff going on with Canada and Mexico?
I love tariffs. I think they're brilliant.
People are freaking out right now, but
they're stupid.
Yeah, I know this is your last 10X GrowthCon coming up, right?
Yeah, March 19th, 20th, 21st, 6,000 people at MGM. It's going to be fantastic.
All right, guys, Grant is back. Wow, a lot's been happening, man. Thanks for coming on again.
Lots always happening around you. You know, I said, let me just get around you. Something good's going to happen.
Absolutely, man. You've been dealing with a lot, though. Your house was the only one that survived in the neighborhood, right, in Malibu?
Yeah.
Crazy. 18 neighbors all burned to the ground.
Literally, I'm located across the street from the fire department. And my house has got 26 inches of concrete block underneath it. So when we visited this house probably 4 years ago, I just finished shooting that show, Undercover Billionaire. And 4 houses down from me, a designer owned that house, the house that I was renting. And that morning, Elaine and I got up. I'd been in Pueblo, Colorado for 90 days. Dude, I was so miserable, so unhappy. My whole life had been turned upside down. And living in an RV, it was terrible. So I said, let's go to Malibu. I could chill out for a little while. This is our place where we get, go to and chill. And that morning we got up, walked down to the end of the beach where the home that I own now. And I said, we're going to buy this house. I literally saw it from the outside, concrete block, man, just big concrete 26-inch pillars that go, probably 100 feet into the bedrock.
Yeah.
And the house was not for sale. I got a guy to get me in the house. I walked in and I said, we're buying this house. It's freaking quality. Can't rebuild this again. And it took me 19 months to get the deal done with a Ukrainian oligarch. Okay, that's a whole story of itself. Okay, Grant, this guy's impossible to deal with. I said, perfect. He'll be the perfect guy for me to negotiate with. Okay, because if he's impossible for me, then he's impossible for everybody.
Right, because money doesn't matter for someone like that, right?
Well, in his case, it did because the war was getting ready to start. So I just got him at the right time. He was going through a divorce. The war was about to happen. He needed out of the house, blah, blah, blah. So we bought the house. I thought I stole it. And it was the concrete block because everything, all my neighbors, the next 20 homes, 18 or 20 homes, are built of timber that has been there 50 and 75 years. And I told my wife, I said, if there's ever a fire on Carbon Beach, every one of these homes is going to light up. And she's like, what about ours? I said, you can't burn concrete. So sure enough, I guess, 28 days ago, whenever the fire started, February 7th or January 7th, I was on a Spaces on X, and the Palisades was on fire. And I said, if that fire jumps the PCH, everything from called Millionaires Row, which is what's it called? Something beach, La Costa Beach and Carbon Beach. I said all those homes are going to be literally burn up. Everything on that Millionaire Beach, La Costa, every home except 4 homes. My buddy's one of them. Both of them surrounded by concrete, and everything from my house down 18 homes until it gets to concrete block, burnt down.
Wow.
To the ground.
And these are expensive homes, right?
These are low end $10 million.
Jeez.
$10 million. I got a buddy. He just finished his house at $28 million. Robert. He had $28 million in the house, lost the whole thing.
Oh my God.
He's got $3 million worth of insurance.
Holy crap.
And I don't think America understands the severity of this problem. The magnitude, the orders of magnitude here are phenomenal. Because let's just take Robert, okay? Let's say he doesn't have $25 million sitting around. That means he's got $3 million worth of coverage and a $25 million loss. And he can't rebuild. So what does he do? One of his neighbors is going to be like, I'll buy the lot. But it's going to be somebody wealthy. It's going to be somebody super wealthy, okay? So let's say there's 20 homes, or let's say there's 30 for sake of easy math. Yep. And only 1 out of 3 people can rebuild, because not everybody can rebuild. Not everybody's sitting with cash. Like my neighbor, he lost his house. He only had $3 million worth of coverage. The lady next to him, $3 million worth of coverage. The lady next to him, the designer house, only $3 million. The state of California got involved in business, and they told the insurance companies, we're protecting the people of California so you can't raise premiums anymore. So this is what the American people don't understand. When the government gets involved in your bullshit, dude, it's bullshit, okay? Had they just stayed out of it, said raise insurance to whatever number whatever the premium, whatever the market will bear, let the people decide whether they want the insurance or not. Instead, the state of California intervened, supposedly got involved on behalf of the California people to protect the California people. So all my neighbors have $3 million worth of insurance. So like Robert, he'd have to come up with 25.
Wow.
Now, he's going to rebuild. It's going to take him 6 to 7 years to rebuild. So he's sitting through a process. Now he's into the house for $50 million, only $3 million worth of coverage, and now he's got a house that's probably only worth $25 or $30 million. But he can only sell it with $3 million worth of insurance coverage. So who wants to do that? Nobody.
Wow.
So it's like, what happens to those beaches? If there's 30 homes and only 20 of those people rebuild, that means it's going to be 20 megalots. Like, I don't know if I win or lose in this deal. I'm not quite clear whether I have a $30 or $40 million loss or whether I end up 7 or 8 or 10 years from now with there's only maybe 8 or 10 mega mansions on Carbon Beach.
That's crazy. Did you have insurance on your property?
Yeah, I had more than $3 million.
Oh, so you figured out a way to do that?
Yeah, I had. I'm completely covered.
Wow.
And I'm grateful that I'm completely covered, but but it doesn't matter that I'm good. Because let's say I could go rebuild tomorrow, which I can't. It's going to take, who knows how long it's going to take. That's a whole nother issue.
Permits, right?
Well, not just permits. They won't even let people get in there and clean up right now.
Yeah, I saw Trump and Karen Bass talk about that, right?
Yeah, she's like, what about the people's health? Fuck you. Stay out of my fucking health. Stay out of my life. Stay out of my health. By the way, there's already, every toxin known to mankind is already in the atmosphere, okay? Entire L.A. County is sucking in asbestos right now. So me going and cleaning up my shit, it just means more asbestos. It doesn't mean you kept me from it. What they're going to do is they're going to bring FEMA in. And they're going to get FEMA a bunch of money. FEMA's going to complicate everything. They're going to say, first of all, we got to spray it. We're going to spray it with this special retardant. Like, that's not more toxins, okay? And then we got to put it in container trucks. So this will take probably 2 years just to remove debris.
Wow.
This is not what should happen, by the way. They should let the homeowners that want to clean up right now at their own risk, okay? And then they're going to say, yeah, but if you clean up and you mix this stuff and you stir this stuff up, bro, if it rains, we're stirring it up. If the wind blows, we're stirring it up. Shit's on the ground right now. Let the people that can and are willing to clean up. This is what Trump said. If I want to go down there and clean up, let me clean up. It's at my risk. It's my health. In California, if I want to shoot dope on the streets, they don't intervene. They might even pay for it. If I want to cut my dick off, they'll probably give me money. Okay, but if I want to go clean the debris from my house or my neighbor's house or my 3 neighbors' house, which I'd be willing to do, by the way, I can get the trucks in there tomorrow. I could go in there and help pick up my 3 or 4 neighbors, get it done in the next 30 days. That means we're 55 days into the event and we're cleaned up. We could literally clean up Malibu in 55 days rather than, who knows, 2 years.
So they won't let anyone clean still?
No, dude.
Wow.
So is it your property? This is a communist organization. Okay, then let's say I could clean up though, Sean. Okay, then I want to rebuild. What's the solution to rebuilding? Nobody has one. I should be able to go to a kiosk. I should be able to go to a kiosk and say, I'm going to rebuild with concrete block, can't burn. I mean, that's what they found out from these fires. Fire does not burn concrete.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use fire retardant window seals, fire retardant roof. I'm going to use concrete block for my structure. And I should be able to go to a kiosk and literally get automation. You're approved to rebuild. But the Coastal Commission is going to intervene. And they're going to probably take 5 or 6 or 7 years because that's more mafia. And more environmental groups are going to be like, what about the field mice? Hey, what about them? Okay, what about the homeless? What about them, bro? Like, you got homeowners that are homeless. This is what's happened in California. The rodents have priorities over the residents. Homeless have priorities over homeowners. Homeowners are now homeless. And it's just this 18,000 people, dude, that don't have a house and who knows how long it takes.
Dude, that's terrible. I did not know there was a coastal committee. That's
the Coastal Commission, Like, this is a group of people that if I wanted to, I think I can say this now. I don't know. Maybe I can't.
We might have to edit it, but say it.
Well, when I bought my house from the Ukrainian guy, I redid the entire house with no permits. And it took me 65 days from start to finish. If I'd have gone to get permits, it would have taken me 3 years to put in wood floors, to change a few walls, to fix the kitchen, and to put in new glass doors and windows. Now, all that's gone now anyway. I've lost it all anyway. So I probably can't say shit. What are y'all going to do to me, right? So, but this is what happened on that beach, on Carbon Beach. My neighbor's $3 million, well, his house is probably worth 15 or 20 million. He's only got $3 million of coverage. Let's say he doesn't have the money. If he doesn't have the money, who's going to buy the house? Well, I'm the most likely buyer. Hey, Jay, I'll buy the house because that would make my house bigger. I don't need bigger house. You've been to my house. The house is big enough, dude. I got 10,000 square feet. I don't need something bigger. But let's say Jay's neighbor doesn't have the money. She lived there 45 years. Maybe she paid 40 grand for the house. And she just waited 45 years. And one day they looked up and said, house is worth 20 million today. But her entire 20 million, bro, she's real estate rich and cash poor.
Most people are, right?
Exactly. She didn't have any money. Like, she's a millionaire many times over. This is what people don't get. Like, she's a millionaire many times over, but the house was a liability. I said it on the last time I was on the show, bro.
Yeah.
Homes are bad investments. Now I'm getting proven right here.
You are.
Okay. So let's say she doesn't have 17 million in 7 years to rebuild. What does she do? She says, Jay, would you buy my house? So now Jay's got 2 lots. Let's say he puts them together. And he builds a mega mansion. He still only has $3 million worth of insurance. That's assuming the Coastal Commission will let him put 2 houses together and build something. It's going to be concrete, glass, and steel, so it's going to be very expensive. But if it takes 7 years, like you just keep multiplying this problem over and over, and the state of California is fucked.
Yeah, that's nuts. Do you think it'll be similar to Hawaii, where corporations just start buying up all the real estate?
Well, look, 2 years in Maui, they still haven't done anything. We've been 6 months, 7 months in North Carolina, and nothing's been done. This is some of the most valuable real estate on the planet. I think it's a checkmate for the Democratic Party, though. There's an opportunity for Republicans, for independents, and blue voters that are fed up and pissed off to go register red. This is what I've been doing, running up and down the coast, trying to register blue voters and independents to red. Rather than recalling Newsom or recalling Karen Ass, okay? Rather than trying to recall these people, because it's very expensive to recall people. It costs $6 a recall vote.
Damn.
Yeah. So if you want to recall $1 million, it would cost about $3 million to recall both of those people, and you don't even know if you recall them. They tried to recall Newsom and it failed because they got the deck stacked, okay? So what I would suggest to people in California that are fed up, register, go online right now, register voters in California. You literally register for free. It costs nothing. This is what business people do. They know how to do something smart for no money. You would literally register for free. And you would be, let's say you were a Democratic voter in the last cycle, you'd be like, I'm registering as a Republican voter. That vote would get sent to Sacramento today. They look at them every day. Let's say 1 million voters. You don't have to vote red. You just register red.
Right.
Okay? And you're sending a message to Sacramento. Hey, man, your time's up. We're done. We're pissed off. We're the customer and the buyer here. And we're fed up with business as usual. And the Democrats would have to then figure out, okay, what are we going to do? But you see, the problem they have is they have all these convoluted agreements between these environmental groups, these freak fringe groups, the Coastal Commission, which prevents anybody from building, from cleaning up the forest because of the rodents, the field mice that we have to protect, and the whatever the smelt fish is. There's these fringe, controlled, oppressive, suppressive groups that are preventing the development of California to be what it should be, which is it should have been buried cables all up and down the coast. You don't see that in Vegas. I don't see telephone lines here. You see them all up and down the PCH. You see wires hanging above homes, okay? So when one of those poles falls and the electrical goes off, you start a fire. You don't have homeless people. You have them here, right?
They're underground here, yeah.
Yeah. They're not underground over there. They're responsible for probably 60% of the fires.
Wow.
Yeah, campfires, smoking, whatever they're smoking. Okay, 60% of the fires are validated to be started by the homeless camps. They have the highest homeless rate in the country. Nobody's even close, and they've spent like $38 billion to prevent homelessness. And now those people have homes. They've started fires. The people that have homes can't get fire insurance. The government's like, hey, we can't do anything about it. We can't get the water down here. We're in a drought season. Hey, bro, we've had fires for 400 years, probably 1,000,000 years in California. Back when the Native Americans were living in California and owned all of it, they every winter, every October, November, December, they would literally move to the beaches because they knew the fires were coming through.
Wow.
It's not a new thing. They didn't have water in the reservoirs. They cut the fire department last year. They spend less than 1% of their annual budget on fires, yet they know fires are coming every year. It's a mess, man.
How much blame do you put on? A lot of people are pointing fingers, but how much blame do you put on Newsom for this?
Well, I would put all of it on him. I mean, if it was me, I would just figure out how to remove him tomorrow. But they can't. Like here's how they have trick bagged the whole thing. Karen Bass, the mayor, she should be executed tomorrow. I don't mean literally executed, but she should be terminated.
Yeah.
If you recalled her, you have to go through this whole process to get anybody out. Not true in business. If I was running my business into the ground or a public company into the ground, they would just eliminate me.
Right.
They would terminate him. His numbers aren't there. We can't do that with the government. Pelosi is connected to Newsom, which was connected to the Gettys. There's like 4 families that have ruined California for 80 years. Bass, if you got rid of Bass, she's part of the connection too. She's never, ever held a private job. If you got rid of Bass, they would just anoint whoever they have in on their bench, anoint them and be mayor. So you can't get these people out, but you can send a message to the business of Sacramento. It is a business. If 40 million people said, I'm voting red in the next cycle, Sacramento would be like, oh, fuck, what do we do now? Well, they'd have to undo all their deals. And until California stands up, and that's what I was hoping to do with 10X California, at 10xcalifornia.com, you can see I'm doing all these rallies across the state. I'm trying to see if the state is even interested in change, because it might not be.
Yeah.
It might just be they're in apathy, and they love the weather so much, they're willing to be complicit and continue with the crime.
What have you seen so far with those events? Any optimism?
The people are very angry, and they are pissed off, but the problem is they wake up to beautiful weather the next day. They're like, shit, man, surf's up, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a laid back lifestyle over there for
Bro,
sure.
it's the greatest resource in America is the state of California.
Yeah, it is. 57% unfavorable view of Democratic people right now. Did you see that poll?
Yeah, and that 43% would consider voting red.
That's a good sign, at least.
It's a great sign. But who wants to do it? Who wants to do the job? You know, I know there's a whole bunch of people going to throw their hat in there to do it. If they've lived there the whole time, you'd have to ask, well, bro, if you've been here the whole time, like I know some of the guys that are going to run, you've been there the whole time, bro. It got worse, and you got richer. I'm thinking about one guy particularly. So you need a gangster to go in there, bro, because you're dealing with organized crime. You need a street fighter. You need a Trump-like character. You need somebody that's like going to go in there, be unapologetic, is willing to burn the infrastructure to the ground, protect the people. Like, look at what Trump did the other day. He's like, well, we're turning the water on. Okay. And you guys can't do voter ID anymore. If you do the voter ID, I'm not going to give you federal funding.
Wow.
This is what the American people don't know. All these emergencies, these fires and floods, they benefit the local area. COVID, I was in San Francisco at a Dave Chappelle concert. The mayor of San Francisco, this was a couple years after COVID, the mayor of San Francisco was in the back room with Dave. They're all he's taking a break, and they're doing what they do back there on their breaks. And they passed it to me. I'm like, no, I can't do it. And so she's freaking bonkers. And she says, the best thing that ever happened to me was COVID. I said, how could that be the best thing? Oh, This was emergency funding. I could do whatever I wanted to do. That's federal money, not state money. So the moment the emergency funding, the emergency category is laid down by the president, basically it's like, how much money do you need?
Wow.
Now, the problem here right now is this is not a national emergency. This is a local state emergency confined to California. And I think Trump said he's got $1.5 billion for it. This thing is, the first week they said it would be $50 billion. I said, no, it's going to be $500 billion, maybe $700 billion. They went from $50 billion to $80 billion, $80 billion to $150. I think it's at $240 billion right now. I guarantee it's going to hit $500 to $700 billion problem.
That's in damages?
That's in damages, cleanup, rebuild, everything.
Wow.
And all the fraud.
That's crazy. And Trump only committed a
Dude,
$1.5.
that's his biggest TARP, 2008.
Wow.
And that's why I'm telling people, you guys that live in America and you don't give a shit about California, this is your problem now. That's how big this is. This problem is so economically big that if it rolls over, California rolls over, or if the government gets involved in preventing it from rolling over, either way, the American taxpayer is on the hook for this.
Damn.
Yeah.
So taxes might go up then.
Well, I don't think taxes are going to go up, but I do think that they'll print more money to solve the problem, which is just a reverse way of taxes are going up.
Right. That's what they did in COVID, right?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
printed
They just
nonstop.
print money.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you think FEMA should be abolished?
Well, I think all organizations that don't get results should be abolished. I think you should stand on your stats. You either move the bar, you either move the graph up. If it's flat or it's going down, the graph is not doing well. If your team's not winning, bro, get rid of the group.
I love that.
Well, what are we going to do without FEMA? Fuck it, bro. We ain't got a FEMA now. Quit acting like you got a solution. You don't have a solution. If I have a bad executive on my team, we have 1,500 employees, okay? The rule at my place is fire 'em. Well, we're not going to have anybody there. Fuck, we ain't got anybody there now, bro. The stat went down, okay? Get rid of the person driving the stat down. No, it's just the environment. It's never the environment. It's never the economy. It's always the person. So California's been ruined. I lived there 13 years ago. It was 10% taxes. They went to 13. They have less money today than they had when it was 10.
Wow.
It's getting worse.
Because that many people left?
Well, people are leaving because of the 13, but more importantly, people are leaving because crime's gone up, homelessness has gone up, taxes are up, infrastructure's worse, and like everything's insane. The only thing that remained the same was the weather. The weather has not changed. It's still blue skies. It's beautiful. They have Santa Anas every year. Now they're probably going to go to 14.4 on the taxes.
Jeez.
Okay. So if you make $100,000, $14,000 was going to the state of California. If you lowered taxes today, I used to say if you lowered taxes, people would fill back into the state. I don't think that's true today. I think if taxes were zero in the state of California, I think a lot of companies would still not go back.
Really?
Yeah. See, I don't pay taxes in California, but I live there. I pay zero to the state of California. I use it as much as I want. I use it like an Uber. Okay? Uber picks me up. I'm using the car. I don't pay for the car. I've been using the state of California for 13 years. Because what they did was they said, we're going to keep raising on the people that live here, and the people that move out, we're going to reward them. We'll reward them with zero. And Grant can come visit as much as he wants. Now, they monitor everything I do. As long as I only stay 179 days, they can't tax me. So I moved all my real estate, all my companies, all my people, all our events. We never do an event in California. You ever see me do an event here?
No.
Or in California. I never do an event there.
No,
Why?
you always do Vegas.
I do Vegas. I'll do Tennessee. I'll do Miami. Okay, I'll do Texas, but I'll never do an event here. I'll never produce one penny of revenue for them. I'll spend money here, but never much.
Yeah.
I'll get my cars titled out of state and bring them in here. I can own a home here. I can pay property taxes here. But I'm probably going to take a loss on this house. I'm probably going to take a $30 or $40 million write down on the house. I'll probably I'll challenge my property taxes and say my house is worth shit. I ain't paying property taxes. My whole goddamn neighborhood's fucked up, okay? Even if I'm standing and my neighborhood looks like debris for the next 18 months, how's that valuable to me? Who wants to go visit this house? I can't get renter's income on it. So I could literally probably claim a loss with the emergency funding, the $500 or $600 billion that's going to be requested.
Yeah.
So who's to blame, bro? Everybody that's been in politics for the last 20 years should be blamed. Adam Schiff, the Pelosi's, all these people that got rich, okay? the Basses, everybody that's been involved in politics in the state of California should be gutted.
I couldn't believe the water stuff. That was nuts to me. The fire hydrants. I mean,
That's crazy.
that just seemed like a simple thing to me, but who knows what goes.
Why
with
does
that.
every house not already have self-irrigation? Okay, why can't I just touch a button and irrigate my own house? The technology exists. But coastal won't allow that to happen, even though it's good for the homeowners. And it would allow the insurance companies to come back in. Rick Caruso, who owns the Grove, you've probably been to the Grove.
Yeah, Grove's nice.
He owns a big property in the Palisades called, I forget the name of it now, The Village. Okay, it's a multi-$100 million property. It's not burnt. He had private firefighters there. He had his own wet water reservoirs. He has self-irrigation. He has concrete block. He has fire retardant roofs. He has no access, no panel, nowhere can a flame or an ember come into the property. Okay, no open vents.
Wow.
But why doesn't everybody in the Palisades have that? Because the state wants to keep everything affordable, whatever that means, where it's not affordable, by the way.
That's so nuts. A lot of politics, man. It's ruining people's lives, I think.
Dude, it's terrible.
That's why I'm excited with Doge.
Yeah.
Get rid of some of these departments, make everyone's lives easier.
Get rid of all of them, bro.
More simple. And now Trump's saying no IRS, maybe? That'd be crazy.
I think that's possible.
You think so?
I think he gets rid of the Fed, too.
Wow. That'd be crazy. I mean, IRS is
Crazy, great.
Yeah. IRS is probably my least favorite one,
Yeah,
personally.
100%.
Yeah.
I
know
think you and I talked about that last time I was here.
Yeah, you've been audited, what, 4 times?
Yep.
Make your life hell.
Won them all, by the way.
Crazy, though.
All they did was spend money.
Yep. Millions.
They wasted money.
They spent millions of tax dollars, right?
That's right. You paid for part of it.
Yeah.
Even in Nevada. You can't get away from federal taxes. I think they should go to a zero. Flat tax should come here. We should pay only on consumption. It should be included in the price of your goods and services. You go buy a $100 jersey, $23 of that is taxes built into it. The state would collect it. They would get paid a percentage to collect, and they'd pay the rest of the federal government.
I would love that.
And then those people at the poverty line would get a credit every year for whatever that first basic needs, whatever it costs you $30,000 to live, you would get a credit every year for whatever $6,000. So the first $6,000 or $30,000 of goods and services, basic needs, anything above basic, you're going to pay taxes on the purchase price. So if I buy this bottle of water, it's built into that bottle of water.
Nice and simple. Love it. Are you a fan of all the tariff stuff going on with Canada, Mexico?
I love tariffs. I think they're brilliant.
People are freaking out right now,
They're
but
stupid.
I think in the long run it'll work out, right?
It's phenomenal. It's not a tax. It's a tariff. Okay? Look, it's not going to cause inflation either. Okay? If this bottle of water, let's say this came from Canada or where it comes from Mexico or Germany. Like you go to Germany, you're not going to see American cars. You're not going to see an Escalade. You're not going to see a Ford F-150. You're not. Why? Because they tariff us going in and we don't tariff them coming here. That's why there's Mercedes everywhere. We don't tariff Germany for a Toyota, Japan for a Toyota, Germany for a Mercedes. But they tariff us. That's why you don't see an F-150 over there.
Wow.
Can't tell me they don't want an F-150. Everybody wants an F-150. If you tariff this bottle of water or a rubber duck from China, and the rubber duck's $1, and you put 100% tariff and it goes to, let's say it goes to $10. The only reason that would cause inflation is because I buy the rubber duck. The consumer at the end of the day is responsible for what they buy. If I continue to buy the rubber duck at $2, that means I think there's value. $3, I think there's value. $5, okay, I think there's value. But $100, you're like, dude, the rubber duck, it ain't worth $100.
Right.
I ain't buying it. So what you want to do is you want to use a tariff to put enough pressure on that company over there that the product comes here and the consumer looks at it and says, no, I ain't buying that. If you agree to the price, if I go to the Wynn Hotel and they charge me $1,000 a night and I agree to it, I am complicit in the crime. Okay? All I have to do is say, no, I'm not going to stay there for $1,000 and I'm going to go to the competition. The rubber duck guy, the rubber duck would be like, I'm not paying $100 for my kid to have a rubber duck. What I'm going to do, because I love my kid, is I'm going to figure out how to build a rubber duck for less than $100. And that would then be manufactured here. So could you cause some inflation? Yeah, if people want to pay $100 for a rubber duck, it's going to inflate the rubber duck. But it's because you agreed to pay the $100 for the rubber duck. What's more likely to happen is a bunch of people will say, fuck the rubber duck. I ain't buying the rubber duck. I'm going to keep the rubber duck at Walmart's. Walmart's is going to take the whole, after about 90 days, they're going to take the whole thing, put it in a truck, put it back on a ship, and send it back to China. And China's never going to get paid on the rubber duck. So they're either going to quit building them, or they're going to lower the prices, or they're going to agree to the tariff and do whatever Trump really wants them to do. Because the tariff is not what he wants them to do.
What do you think he wants?
He wants control over some other agreements, like buy our 10-year treasury. Our 10-year treasury bill is like at 4.6% today. It needs to be at 2% to get mortgage rates down. So he could do a whole bunch of things to bring interest rates down. Interest rates cause more inflation than prices do.
Wow.
So you got a 7%, 7.5%, maybe 8% interest rate today on a mortgage. That has changed the price of a home by 3 times. Nobody pays cash for a house unless you're rich. None of these conversations apply to rich people. Rich people, whatever, fucking rubber ducks 100, I'll buy a case of them. They don't care, right? They're probably over rubber ducks anyway. All right. So what happens is the middle class, even the middle class, almost wealthy, the people on Carbon Beach that took that house from their mother 40 years ago. They paid $40,000 for it. And one day they looked up, it was worth $15 million. That's not real money. Right? It's an asset that went up in value over time because somebody found it valuable. She's going to get hurt. The rich people aren't going to get hurt. The little guy gets hurt. So what Trump would do, Trump's like, hey, we need mortgages to be 2% and 3% in this country because homes aren't selling right now. In Nevada, home activity is almost zilch. It's terrible. Why? Not because of the price of the home, because of the mortgage rate on that home that the Fed has at 7.5% or 8%. That's why I think Trump's serious about getting rid of the Fed.
Wow. That would change a lot of things.
He said 4 days ago, he says, I demand lower interest rates. Okay, now the Fed's going to be like, okay, I'm going to drop short-term rates. Short-term rates and long-term rates aren't really connected. I'm going to drop short-term rates a little bit. He didn't this last time. He froze. But what he's going to need to do is get other companies, Mexico, Canada, Germany, and China and Russia to buy our long-term bonds. And long-term bonds would bring interest rates down, and he would probably relieve the tariff.
That's why he's going after BRICS. That makes sense.
Yeah, BRICS, I mean, nobody's getting rid of the U.S. dollar.
You're that confident?
Huh?
You're that confident?
Yeah, that is never going away, dude. We are backed. We don't need to be backed by gold. We're backed by the full power of the U.S. military.
Proud to be an American. Let's go.
Proud to be an American. Man. We have the only Navy that can access all 7 seas.
So you said earlier $38 billion went to California homelessness. Do you think any government funding should go towards
$18 billion went to a metro rail that went nowhere.
I saw that. Yeah. So do you think any government funding should be for homelessness, or do you think that should be solved by people like us just helping out?
I think you should find a national solution to the homeless problem. But before I handle those homeless, I'm going to handle the vets. Look at the priorities, man. You have 30 days for gay parade. Just an example. The gay parade gets 30 days. Vets get 1 day. Priorities are messed up. I'm not saying the gay parade shouldn't be 30 days or the gay month shouldn't be a month. Maybe it should be. But goddamn, veterans should be a month too then. The homeless, there has to be a national solution for the homeless problem. Number one of which, you don't let homeless people into your country when you got a homeless problem.
They're fixing that though right now with the border stuff.
Yeah, and you got to like, if you're short 4 million homes today, you don't bring 4 million more people in that don't have homes. That makes 8 million.
They brought more than that.
Whatever, right? Like I'm just like, they brought 15 million in. Now you got 20 million people without homes. You don't make more homes by putting on more regulation. You remove the regulations and let people build homes. You give people incentives to build. You can't do a cleanup. You can't clean up the Palisades if you don't let the people clean up. Like you're asking about the homeless problem. I'm like, if you can't clean up the homes you have, how can you solve a homeless problem?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like people, they have to handle the priorities. They have to be like, hey, homeless, not the priority right now. Sorry. Some other place, some other time. Let's get our freaking budget in order. Right? If my house is burning down, I cannot worry about you right now. I got to save my house, save my family, and then save my neighbor. It goes in that order. That's what business people know how to do. But part of that is saying no. You can't just say yes to every program. And right now, California tries to say yes to everything.
And it's not working. It's going in people's pockets, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it clearly didn't help the homelessness or any of the
It
rail.
didn't help the homeless.
Yeah. I mean, just
The rent control and the price controls didn't help prices. Prices still went up. Rents still went up. And the houses got burned down. Because if I can't raise the rents, I can't improve the property. If I can't improve the property, nature's going to say, oh, you're not going to improve it? If you're not going to improve it, we're going to burn it to the ground.
Yeah. I just feel like, in general, how our tax dollars are being spent is so mismanaged, overall, not just with these problems, but I don't know where my tax dollars are going to. I pay almost $1 million a year. It's pretty nuts.
Part of it probably goes to medicating kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You should look at it. I think 1% of your taxes goes to the psychiatric.
Wow.
Attention.
That's
kids
terrible.
need.
They tried putting me on meds in like 4th grade.
Yeah. Why, dude? What was wrong with you?
Nothing.
You were being a 4th grader?
Yeah, being a normal kid.
Exactly. What are you, 10 years old?
Literally 10 years old. Yeah.
They're making you read a book you have no interest in, sit in a chair, go to a class that you have zero determination about. You had no interest, and they made you go into it. Part of the education problem. I think he's going to get rid of the Department of Education, and he should. Federal government shouldn't have anything to do with education. Let the state handle whatever they want to educate.
You think that'd be a good move?
I think it'd be a great move. They ought to take schools from 12 years to 8 years.
You think 12's too long?
Yeah, 100%. Kids don't need that. My kids are both proof that you don't need that. My kid, 15 years old, so she started when she was 6. She finished all her entire high school from the age of 6 to 15 in 9 years. She finished high school in a year and a half.
Wow.
At home. No buildings, no walls, no teachers, no desk, no books, all online.
That's impressive.
We have the technology. Elon says there's no reason anybody go to college.
Elon said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't care if an engineer's got a college degree.
I actually wanted to ask you about Elon. Did he block you last year on Twitter?
Yeah, but it wasn't him.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, no, it wasn't him.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know, somebody in his staff, I think when they were taking it over.
Okay.
I got this notice blocked. I'm like, God damn, not that guy.
Did he unblock you yet?
Yeah, I'm unblocked.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Elon, man.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
That one would hurt me, too.
Huh?
Elon
Dude,
blocked
it killed me. Like, I was walking wounded through the house. I'm like, what just happened? Because I love X.
Yeah. X is my favorite platform right now.
100%.
I'm on there a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
Because the news is so fast there.
Yeah, do you do spaces there?
No, are those
Yeah,
good?
you should, dude.
Really?
You should.
Okay. I just go on the feed, and it's really good.
Yeah, I love the spaces. Tremendous amounts of intelligence there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lot of crypto people there, a lot of Stop the Fed people there, a lot of really smart economy rooms.
I'll hop on some more spaces.
Yeah.
I know you're big on crypto, right? You got a lot of Bitcoin.
Well, I have a fair share of it.
I love that.
Yeah. We started a Bitcoin fund.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, real estate and Bitcoin. So we bought a 300-unit complex in Melbourne, Florida. It was $72 million. It's worth 88. So what we did, we took the difference between what we paid for it and what we think it's worth today, and we filled that up with Bitcoin.
Wow.
I paid cash for both of them, and then I opened it up to my audience. So we had a $88 million fund, and what you get is you get the real estate that cash flows every month. No debt, paid cash for the whole thing. And then we bought the Bitcoin that every month as the property cash flows, we add Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I've never seen that model.
No, nobody's ever done it.
Holy crap.
So we did our first one, about to close it, about 5 days from closing that fund. And then I'm going to add 10 more.
Nice.
And I'm going to go public with it.
That's smart. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Trump's administration seems to be very pro-crypto.
Yeah, very pro.
Yeah, they're buying a ton.
I think they passed something on or proposed a bill today on stable coins.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
And then Pennsylvania, Texas, Minnesota, Wyoming, Florida's looking at it, at putting Bitcoin on their reserve. And
Nice.
Ohio.
Let's go.
Ramaswamy, he's pro Bitcoin.
He's running for
Howard
Ohio,
Lutnick,
right?
governor, Ohio. Lutnick's pro Bitcoin. Bestnet is pro Bitcoin. Both Trump boys are pro crypto.
When did you get on the wave? Because real estate's a whole different game than crypto.
Yeah, well, look, I've never really been a crypto spokesperson, and because for the last 7 years I've been studying it, and I was given some in Vegas 12 years ago. I was given 100 pieces
No way.
for a speaking gig.
What?
Yeah.
Holy.
So my office got a phone call. Hey, this group wants to know if you would speak at a gig in Vegas, but they don't have any money. I said, okay, well, why am I going? Oh, they want to give you 100 Bitcoin. I said, I don't even know what Bitcoin is. I said, but we should look into it. I mean, if that's the only way they could pay me, don't say no, say yes. Figure it out. Always say yes first, you know?
Yeah.
And then it kind of went away, and then somebody called, hey, Grant, this group came back, and they want to pay you 100 Bitcoin. Will you take it? I'm like, oh, those people again. I said, I don't even know what Bitcoin is. I said, but look, dude, is there any other way they could pay us, like donkeys or cotton candy or anything? I'll take anything. Like, I want to help people. I want to be that. I'm in Vegas anyway. And they said, no, the only way they could pay is Bitcoin. I said, fuck it, let's take it. Well, that was, $12 million ago.
Holy it's more than that now.
No, I mean, it's worth $12 million.
Oh, wow.
That yes.
Yeah, because it's like 120K.
100.
Yeah.
No. What is it worth this morning?
Well,
no, it's worth 10 million today.
10. Yeah, it's 100K.
Yeah.
Which is still nuts because your speaking fee was probably what, 100K back then?
I don't know. It wasn't much. 13 years ago, it was probably 50 grand.
Nice. And now it's probably something crazy, I'd imagine.
We don't do a bunch of those anymore.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I know this is your last 10X GrowthCon coming up, right?
Yeah. March 19th, 20th, 21st, 6,000 people at MGM. It's going to be fantastic.
What made you want to wrap it up?
Well, I've done 10 of them, man. It comes a time. Everything ends at some point.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to to become something else throughout my career. I found it to be very smart to, like, before something's over, become the next version of yourself.
Yeah.
Which is really hard for people to do, and so I knew at some point we would be like, okay, we're going to do one more of these. It's look, doing an event with 6,000 people is freaking hard.
It's a lot of work. People don't know. Because I have 600 at mine, and it's a lot of work.
Bro, there's nothing harder than filling up an event.
Yeah.
And then all the way up to the morning of, you're like, is anybody going to show up? Is it going to be full? Because if it's half full, it looks dumb.
Right.
And if nobody shows up, you look real dumb. So, I mean, we've done events where there was 34,000 people. People are like, why didn't you do a 34,000 person event twice? I'm like, I don't need to. You did it once. Shit. I did it once. I don't need to do that twice. But you don't want to try to do that twice.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be our year 10 10X Growth Conference. We spend a year pulling this deal off. So this is going to be our final one. We'll do other events, but we won't do this mega event.
I love it. I think I told you last time you came on, 10X GrowthCon was the first event I ever went to.
Yeah.
And it changed.
Where was that?
It was in
here?
Vegas.
Who were the speakers there?
It was you, Anik Singhal, Russell Brunson.
Oh, yeah. We hadn't got it big yet.
Yeah, it was like the second or third one, I think. Mm-hmm. But that got me to start going to events, and it really changed my life. So thank you, man.
Well, come be my guest at this one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We don't, nobody knows who's going to speak there. Like the event you did, I think the list was there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And then I said on the third event, I think you were at the second event. And I said on the third event, we're not telling anybody who's coming. And my team was like, what, dude? I said, no, we're not going to tell them. In fact, we're going to sell a third of the tickets and not even tell them where it is. And 20% of the tickets are going to be sold without a date. No date, no location, and no speaker list. And I said, as we get closer to it, I'll reveal the date. Once we got to 20% sold, then I said the date is, but not the location. No, who's going to buy a ticket? They don't know where it is. Somebody will.
I love it.
And then we never, since that third one, have ever told anybody what speakers are going to be at the event.
Wow.
And we still sell it out.
There's not a lot of people that could do that, man. Well done. I know you.
Donald Trump. Trump. When I got Trump to come, I was sitting right here at a table. Trump's sitting right here next to me. He spent 90 minutes talking to me.
Wow. Super
curious. He never heard of me. Super curious about me. Man, what do you do? What, tell me about your businesses. And then I started telling him about the 10X Growth Conference. Well, how many people come to these events? I said, well, I've had 34,000. He's like, what are they coming for? I said, well, they're coming to talk about business, how to 10X their business. He's like, yeah, but what are they coming for? Well, his what is who?
That makes sense.
He's like, who are they coming for? Because he kept asking me, well, what are they coming for? Why are they coming to the event? I'm like, they're coming to the event because, and I keep telling him the same thing. Yeah. He's like, yeah, but why are they coming? And I'm like, what do you mean? And Brandon Dawson, my partner, says, Mr. Trump, they're coming to see him.
I love it.
You know, I didn't know how to say that, right? And he's like, well, dude, like why? Why are they coming to see you? Why did that many people spend 3 days coming to see you? And then he says, you know, I would speak at one of your events. I said, man, that'd be amazing. And so we cut a deal that day, and he agreed to come.
That's nuts.
Nobody knew he was coming.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on social media. I was like, damn, I wish I went to that one.
Dude.
Yeah, well done.
So we've had Dana White there, Kevin Hart. I mean, I've had almost everybody speak at my events. The two people I haven't gotten, Dave Chappelle. I've tried to get Dave so many times, dude. And it looks like I'm not going to get him.
He's picky.
Huh?
He's picky.
Yeah. And Tom Cruise.
Ooh.
I wanted Tom.
Cruise would be a good one.
Oh, my God.
I feel like he would do it. Have you talked to his team?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just hard, man.
He's probably super busy filming and.
Yeah, it's not his thing, you know. He makes movies, man. His deal is to make movies, you know.
Just focus on what you're doing.
And I get involved in a lot of stuff. He's like, I don't, you know, a lot of that stuff.
When's your life documentary coming out, man? I think that would inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I got to do more stuff first.
What?
Yeah,
you've already done something.
I got to accomplish something at a mega level.
Damn, you've already done that. You're a billionaire. You got a great family.
Yeah, I know, but I don't feel like I've done enough. I don't think I've fulfilled my potential yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So transition was the word, right? A person transitions through life, right? Like you know, when I'm a kid, I was on drugs for 10 years, and then, okay, I got to clean up. Then once you clean up, that's a transition. But okay, now what are you going to do? You can't just clean up, be an ex-drug addict for the rest of your life. What are you going to do? Now you got to build something. So then I became a decent salesman. Then I became a great at sales. Then I started teaching companies how to sell. And I transitioned. Then I got really good at sales, and I got typecast. Oh, he's just a sales guy. So then you have to transition again. And so now people don't really, like, at the end of my lifetime, people won't even know I did all of this stuff. They won't know about the drug addiction, the sales, the marketing. They won't know that I was a YouTuber.
Right.
None of that. It'll all be forgotten. And then they'll see me for the end of my life, for whatever I transition to.
What do you think the next transition is for you? Politics?
I don't think it's me being in politics. I don't think I'm a desirable political person, because I tell the truth. I'm too transparent.
Well, I think Trump.
Like,
won
I don't think
this.
huh?
I think Trump won because of that, though.
Yeah, I wonder.
I think he was just so honest that, like, he won because
maybe
politicians aren't really honest, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
I think in 28, you might have to run in 28, man.
No, I don't. You know, I think they probably got that part handled.
Yeah, Vance is probably gonna,
step
over.
But like California, like, man, when you see the challenge in California, I'm in Miami enjoying my life, running my business, and I see this thing happen in California. I'm like, man, I wonder if I could affect change there. Those kind of things, like, get me excited for a moment. And then I get into it, and I'm like, what am I doing? This is stupid, man. Go home.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, dude, it's been awesome. Where can people find out what you're up to next and the next
check out 10xcalifornia.com if you guys want to flip California, if you're serious about helping the state of California and fixing this problem that's there. By the way, that's going to become contagious.
Yeah.
Okay? If California continues to fall off they used to worry about it falling off the damn coast, right? But it is. And if you're worried about it, if you think that's not going to affect Utah and Arizona, Minnesota, Illinois, it's going to affect everything. Because if you could flip California back to common sense, guess what? Illinois would be like, oh, shit. New York, New Jersey. The whole country needs to get back to common sense. So any of you want to support me and help me there at 10xcalifornia.com.
Linked up below.
Yeah, and everything else, if you want to find me anywhere, it's easy.
Yeah, and check out 10X GrowthCon, guys. I'll be there. Check them out, guys. Check out 10X California. See you next time.